N1 SAG, November 1, Sierra Alpha Golf, listening.
For your remark.
Hello, Mark, N1 SAG. I don't think Mark hears me, N1 SAG. Hello, Mark, N1 SAG. November 1, Sierra Alpha Golf, N1 SAG, standing by.
Whiskey 3 Hotel November.
And Whiskey 3 Hotel November, N1SAG.
N1SAG, I guess it's working. W3HHN. Yeah, I don't remember the name there. The name here is Tim, T-I-M. I'm near Saratoga Springs, over.
Okay, Tim, up there, Saratoga Springs. Name here is Dave. I'm in Nepaug, New Hartford, over.
Where's that?
We're just a little bit west of Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah, you're really strong here. I just put up a full wave loop for 160, and you're my first contact, Dave, over.
Okay, good signal here. You're 20 over. No problem hearing you.
Yeah, we're not running a whole lot of power. I think about 400 watts.
Okay, Roger. Yeah, no problem. If 400 watts serves you well.
Well, I couldn't really get it up the way I wanted. One end's at 60 feet, and I had to get it out in the woods and no tall trees, so it's sloping. The other end is only around 20, 25 feet.
Yeah, well, as long as it's resonant, it's radiating, that's for sure.
Well, I got to use the tuner on it.
Well, yeah, it's either tuner or get out there and start trimming, but I think the tuner's okay.
No, I can use it on all bands, 160, 80, and 40 over.
Oh, yeah. How's the tune up on 40?
It tunes fine on 40.
Oh, fine business then. Yeah, that's the glory thing, I think. A good tuner and good balanced line in a full wave loop, you can go just about anywhere.
Yeah, I'm using a 450 ohm ladder line.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, it's working okay here. It's working great as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, you're almost peaking 40 over with me, Dave. We'll see what Ray sounds like when he comes on.
Okay, yeah, he'll be on. I'm sure he'll be on soon.
What are you using?
Here I've got an ICOM 7300, and I'm running it through Randy's old AL82.
Okay, and your antenna?
Resonant dipole.
How high is it?
The apex is 35 feet off the ground, then it kind of gets down near 18 feet on each end.
Okay, yeah, it's doing a good job. Yeah, we had a 40 meter extended double zip, worked pretty good. It used the same tuner. This is a homebrew L network, just LC. And it was 160 feet fed in the center, and that played quite well on 160.
Well, center setting, it was overall 160.
Yeah, 80 feet inside. That's the 5/8 either side for 40 over.
Okay, yeah. Well, nothing like a big antenna down here, I always say.
Well, if you listen to Ray, if you got big feeders, like number 6 open wire line, you don't need a big antenna.
Yeah, well, I guess. I mean, I'm not running much here. It's just that resonant dipole and some Cat 3 for each leg on the dipole.
Yeah, I don't know what the Cat 3 is. What's that?
It's that 4 solid wire, like telephone communication wire.
Yeah, what gauge would that be?
Not sure. It's, there's 4 of them all inside. They're all insulated. There's a green one, a yellow one, a black one, and a red one. It's copper, and then they're encased in a gray jacket. Each side is, I don't know, I think I started out with 122 feet each side, so then I trimmed them up to get the thing resonant over.
Yeah, that's what you're using for the open wire line or for the dipole?
Oh no, I'm feeding a 1-to-1 current balun with coax.
Roger, RG8 or what?
It's 7018 double. You know, the double shielded.
It's doing the job. Yeah, we got wow, that's interesting. We got a 4 square for 40, and I'm just looking at my 40. One of the lights on the controller is lighting up. So the thing about this loop, it's over 100 radials. So I've got 100 radials under this loop. They're not long. They're 25 feet for the 4 square, but it is over a very good ground system.
Oh yeah, all right. And so that's hooked back to ground, then the radials.
Yeah, I got a good ground system under the loop, right under it. And just off to the side, I got a tin roof, which is 40 by 50 feet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know how much all that plays into it. You know, I'm no rocket scientist, but it's doing a great job here. Sounds good.
WG2E.
WG2E, who's that?
Hi, Tim, Dave, Carl here, WG2E. Sounding good there, Tim.
You like the loop? I want to be as strong as Randy.
Okay, well, welcome to the club. I got a loop going here, too.
What kind of loop you got there, Carl?
550-foot loop, basically square, fed with the world-famous Toad Harbor feed line.
Which is?
12-gauge copper wire, 4-inch spaced.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I guess that's the next thing. I got to change the feed line. I'm just using the 450 ohm lighter line. This one is not square. It's a trapezoid there, Carl, over.
Yeah, originally I started mine and it was a little bit, didn't fit very well, and it was kind of close to some trees. I used a 500-foot roll of wire, and I decided I needed to get it spaced out a little bit better, so I just added the 50 feet.
Yeah, I cut mine to 1005 over the frequency. That came out to be 540. I haven't trimmed it. And I don't know if I will, because I get a 1-to-1 match on this frequency over.
Yeah, okay, well, mine is actually resonant at 1780.
Yeah, I don't know where mine's resonant. I haven't put a bridge or anything on it. But we're only running about 400 watts. So again, you're QTH, Carl?
I'm in Duanesburg.
Oh, that's close. We're over here by Saratoga Springs.
Yep. We've talked times back in the old 6-meter days with Randy and Ray and the electric X-frame and X-ray beam and guys like that. Hey, Dave, being a Connecticut guy, I got a question for you.
We'll go right ahead and ask.
What's the quality of the Goshen Ham Fest?
You know, I think I was talking, I can't remember. It may be been, I don't know, last night. Anyway, somebody on the net last night is going. They have Johnson radios. He's going to be wearing a Johnson. Who's that? He's been. I've never been, and it's going to be Saturday and Sunday at the Goshen Fairgrounds. So I'm thinking I may try to get up there Saturday morning. He said it starts at 8, N1SAG.
Okay, well, I was trying to find somebody that had been to it in the past and could say whether it was good or bad or whatnot. I was thinking that maybe I'd go out there Sunday. Apparently it's open till 5 o'clock, so I was wondering if you got there, towards lunchtime or something, if there's still stuff going on well.
Yeah, I don't know. Who's the guy on the net here that talks with, he has Johnson radios?
I don't know.
Well, he mentioned it to me last night on the air, and I told him I'd be wearing a NRA hat he's going to be wearing a Johnson shirt so we could recognize each other. I didn't write his call or his name down last night. I wasn't making notes, taking notes last night, I guess.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm sure that some people will show up here sooner or later this evening and have been there or would have word on it. So, anyway, it's supposed to be nice this weekend. Maybe it'll be good for antenna work.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's what Ray's doing today.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. And you just got yours up today, Tim?
Yeah, can I run a quick check with you between this and the vertical?
Well, I'm looking at the meter right now. We're all ears.
Okay, loop, 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 loop. Vertical, 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 vertical. Loop, 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 loop. Vertical, 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 running the vertical. And back to the loop, loop, loop. What do you see?
Your vertical is right dead on S9, and it's 10 over with the loop.
Okay, how about you, Carl?
I'm sorry, again?
Yeah, is this Carl or Dave?
Oh, this is Carl.
How about you,
Dwaynesburg.
Well, I don't know. You're like 20, 25 over here.
Yeah, I went back and forth between the loop and the vertical.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. But to be honest with you, if I was, seeing as I wasn't looking, it seemed just as loud audio-wise. If you want to try it again, I'll watch.
Yeah, have a look. Here we go. Loop, 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 loop. Vertical, 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 vertical. I'm amazed at the vertical. Loop, 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 loop. Any difference there, Dave?
Oh, yeah, big difference. Big difference. The loop is much stronger. It's like a 20, 25 over, and the vertical was a 10. Of course, don't forget now I'm horizontal, so I'm sure there's going to be loss in the cross polarization in SAG.
It's not a real vertical. It's a 80 meter vertical. It's 60 feet. It's not 130 feet, or it's not an inverted L. It's my 180 meter vertical, Dave, over.
Okay, yeah, well, definitely the loop is much stronger.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. Okay, thanks a lot.
You're welcome, anytime.
Yeah, you're peaking 30 over here.
Well, let's see if this band's open up here yet at all. N3 or more.
Yeah, N1 KGB, W3HHN, come in. You have what? You said something in Connecticut. You have what in Connecticut?
I have just about the same reading as you up here in Connecticut. That's 7 for the vertical. I think that's what it was. And then that's 9 are much better for the loop.
Roger. Yeah, I'm glad it's working because it was a bitch to get up. N1 KGB, W3HHN, 10 there. TIM, what's the name there?
Our first name is Martin. November 1 Kilo Golf Papa.
Okay, thanks a lot, Martin. Who else came in? Who else checked in? I don't know, they heard my voice and went away.
Somebody running a net on here?
Yeah, I think that was you, Mark.
This is Norway 3, Radio, Mexico Radio, near Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. The name's Mark.
Okay, did you see my antennas, Mark?
Yeah, the band's still a little short for me here.
Did you see my antenna, AB check, Mark?
I do hear you. Are you the one call?
No, this is Whiskey 3 Hotel November. What's my report?
Oh, Whiskey 3 Hotel November. You are a 5x2. 5x2, over.
Hard to believe you're 30 over 9.
More like a 5x4, but somewhere in there.
Okay, this is vertical. Horizontal. Vertical. Horizontal. What do you see? must have one-way skip between myself and Mark.
Oh, you were asking me? Are you testing antennas?
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm having it's not a real good bit right now to doing that. Very weak, very weak propagation at the moment.
You're 20 over 9 here. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, well, you're not. You're 4S units, and it's a little rough because they're fading.
That's hard to believe. Okay. Not reciprocal. Okay. Back to the group. Whoever wants to take it.
Yeah, well, Mark's way down there in Pennsylvania, I guess. So, and sometimes he doesn't get strong until he won't receive well until a little after sundown. So once the sun gets behind the hills, I'm sure he'll hear you just fine, Tim. Over.
Yeah, I can't believe it. He's 20 over 9, and he says I'm S2, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't think he even hears me.
Well, I hear you, and you're 5. Now, I'm on my beverage, because if I go to the transmit antenna, you both are buried in the noise, and I can't even really hear you. So, yeah, I need another 15 minutes, and then the Great Wall of the North opens up to me.
Well, that explains it. He's receiving on his beverage. I can do that, too, and give you an S1 on my beverage.
I can at least hear you on the beverage.
Roger. Thanks a lot.
I can give you a report from Cape Cod.
Yeah, go ahead. Did you see horizontal, vertical?
Yeah, the vertical's not playing very well. If I understand you right, that's an 80-meter vertical?
Roger.
Is it like an R7 or something you built?
It's a reverse red vertical. I feed the hot side to the radio system and put the ground to the tower. Over.
Oh, Roger. Well, I'm sure it plays a lot better on 75 meters, but you're like a 7 to a 9, and you're like 10 over on the loop, so quite a big difference on the Cape. N1QWN running 100 watts with a dipole.
Okay, sounding good here. You're 10 over 9.
Very good. Sounds good. Carry on. N1QWN listening.
How much power are you running?
400 whiskey.
400 watts, okay.
And I'm here, N1DBL.
Ooh, you're not strong yet, right? I put up a full wave loop.
You have a full wave loop now?
Roger.
Oh, good job.
But I couldn't get the fore end high enough, so I compromised. It's only at 20 feet. One's at 60, one's at 20 there, Ray.
Yeah, I'm having your audio really needs a little work. It's just not very clean, but I missed the last part of what you said.
Okay, how's it on the vertical? Ray?
Okay, that's 12 dB over 9.
Yeah, but how's the audio?
The same.
Okay, so does it sound like RF, or what does it sound like?
No, it just isn't. It just doesn't have good quality. You're like 10 dB stronger on the loop.
Yeah, it doesn't have good quality. Does it have DX quality?
No, it has lousy quality. It just does not sound good.
You're the first person that ever said that.
Well, all I can tell you is, trust me when I tell you, I'm right. Your audio is not good. What kind of radio is it? ICOM 746 Pro. I do trust you.
I'll put my headphones on and listen to the monitor, Ray. Over.
Is the speech compressor on?
Roger.
Well, I don't know about the Pro, but on the old 746, you had to be really, really careful with the compressor. You had to just turn it off and just crack it on. And any more than that, the radio wouldn't sound right. What kind of microphone is it?
Just a handheld mic. No compression now. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. No, that didn't help. That radio has what do you call it? Doesn't it have a, like you can change the audio curve, can't you?
Roger.
Does it have bass and treble, or just like the old 746 just had one control?
One control. You can put bass or roll the bass out.
Okay, well, where is it set now? Do you know?
A full bass.
Well, there's your problem. Put it in the middle.
Yeah, you would ask me to do that. I forgot how to do it.
Okay, well, you read the book. I don't know what to tell you. On mine, I used to run it all the way on the treble side.
There we go. We got the compression back in. Over.
Yeah, either way, it doesn't sound good. I mean, it doesn't really change the lousy audio.
Good to know. That's one report out of hundreds.
Well, I'll tell you what. When Randy comes in, because nobody believes me, but when Randy comes in, you jump back in here and you let Randy tell you what it is, and he's going to tell you the same thing that I'm telling you.
Yeah, people always give good audio reports. Whether it's good, bad, or lousy, they always say you're good.
99.9% of the time, you are 100% correct. They will never tell you your audio's not good.
Roger, roger.
It just sounds like a pro with a stock mic. It's not bad. It's just a stock microphone.
It is a stock, and I took the pillow out, the little rubber pillow, which what does that do? That cuts the bass. That gives you more highs, over.
Well, Ray's right. There's a lot of room for improvement, but it just sounds like a stock pro with a stock mic. N1QWN.
N3 or more.
Well, let's put it this way. Now, there's 3 other people in here, and I'm not including myself, and they all sound a lot better than you do.
Okay, that's fine. Is it a lot of highs in it? It should be a lot of highs in it.
I can't even explain to you how it sounds. It just doesn't sound like it should.
Yeah, there's not a lot of highs in it. It's very narrow. Its intelligibility is very good, but does not have very much low end, and it does not have very much high end. It's very narrow.
Okay, that's good to know.
All mid.
I do have a Heil microphone, which I can put on here.
Oh, no.
So maybe I'll try that one over.
No, don't do it. Step away from the light.
Tim, don't worry about it. The audio could use some work. There's no doubt about that. It might be a mic. It might be the treble setting. I don't know. But Ray's pretty much right. It could use work. But otherwise, it's working. I mean, you're on the air and you were talking and we can understand you. But I don't know much about those radios. But I'm sure you'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm sick. I went to the hospital today for sore throat, laryngitis, and I'm all scratchy in my voice. That's part of it.
Well, you could at least put on the sore throat filter.
No, that's the truth, though.
Alpha Charlie 2.
How do we do? Did you like that one?
Hey, there's an Alpha Charlie trying to get in. Alpha Charlie, try it again.
I don't know who hears me, but I ain't getting no return.
Yeah, Alpha Charlie with the ending Tango. Try it again.
Alpha Charlie 2 Tango. I'm in Yonkers.
Alpha Charlie 2 Tango in Yonkers. Don't you hear him?
Yeah, I got him good. Over.
Well, give him a call.
Okay, Alpha Charlie 2 Tango. I've been hearing you crying in the background there. N1SAG, November 1, Sierra Alpha Golf. Name here is Dave, short for David. And I'm up here in New Hartford, Connecticut. Over.
Roger on that, Dave. I'm down here in Yonkers. Name here is Paul, Pop Alpha for Lima. This is the first time I'm getting 160 here. With a nice here. Antenna, really. I didn't think I was getting out at all.
What kind of antenna?
It's a random wire. It goes up about 15 feet, 65 feet according to the yard.
So that's the full length of it, 65 feet?
To one balance.
Oh, my.
That's the full length, 65 feet?
65 plus 15. Whatever that is, 70 feet, 80 feet.
Yeah, okay. Can you make it longer?
I try, but right now at this particular moment, no. My yard isn't that big, so I don't have really too much space to put an antenna. But I'm just wondering if I'm getting out at all with this thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're, Dave's in Connecticut, and I'm in just over the line in Massachusetts, and you're between S6, S7. You hit almost an 8 that time, but it's, that's not a really great signal because this band's so noisy in the summertime, nobody's going to be able to hear you.
Well, thank you for the contact anyhow, at least the indication that I will try to make it a little longer and see what happens. Guys, thank you very, very much for the contact. Hopefully I'll catch you again one night.
AC2TW3HHN, any copy?
Yes, W3HHN, go ahead.
Yeah, you're 5'9 plus, 5'9 plus. They're Albany, New York. Go ahead.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm getting out that way. So, thank you for that.
Okay, Roger, Dodger, 7-3. Good evening.
Yep, Albany, you're coming up now.
Roger, Roger. I'm
Hey,
ready
Tim.
to 40 over 9 now. The latest I've heard you.
Hey,
What did
Tim.
you say your name was?
Tango India Mary.
I
Hey,
your
hey,
audio's mixing with the noise. So, say it phonetically.
Tango India Mary.
His name is Tim.
Oh, Tim. Okay.
I
Well,
said
you
it
can't
phonetically.
understand them, can you?
No, it's very hard to understand them because the audio's, I don't want to say tin canish, but it's borderline.
Good,
Hey,
thank you.
Tim, is your
You gotta tell me the way it
746
is.
Pro the same menu as the 746?
Yeah, it's all mid-range. If you can get into that menu and brighten it up a little bit, it would help.
Roger,
It's a
Dodger.
little lacking in the intelligibility.
Roger, Dodger.
Hey, Tim, you're a 746 Pro?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I got the 746, and the tone control for your transmit is in menu 1, and it's TCN.
I got it. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, add a little brilliance. You need some upper frequencies there.
Okay, I took the bass out. Does that help?
Ah, yes, that did help. You're going the right way.
Much better.
Oh, that's good to know. Okay, at least I did that.
Well, did it go all the way to the treble side?
Just rolled all the bass out. I don't know what else I can do.
Well, it's either all the way to the bass or all the way to the treble. Is it all the way to the treble side now?
I rolled all the bass out. I don't know what. Nothing says treble.
Well, it's just high and low, or in the middle.
Yeah, I rolled all the bass out, minus 5 dB.
Yeah, well, that's better anyway for with the noise. That the intelligibility's come up.
Okay, good to know. I assumed because it was so tinny it needed bass.
Yeah, no, leave it there for now, Tim, N1SAG.
Roger, Dodger. Thanks a lot.
Tim, what's the antenna? Are you running a dipole?
I'm running a 540-foot loop antenna fed with 450 ohm ladder line.
Oh, okay, very good. Yeah, the conditions just are a little bit too short between you and me. Another, 10, 15 minutes and things will straighten out here.
You're 20 over 9. You're pounding it.
You've come up, you're now at 6 approaching 7 on the beverage, so you've increased by at least twice.
Yeah, I haven't tried my beverage. I have a 500-foot beverage as well.
Evening, Ray.
Yeah, what was that?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hey, I got my 80-meter vertical antenna fixed today.
Oh, that's exciting.
It was. I made a contact before I came here.
On 80 meters, and you found somebody that wasn't crazy?
They were kind of borderline crazy, but it was a quick tag and go. There's a lot of, groupie kind of things going on in different frequencies. I didn't want to tie anything up, so I just did a quick report, got in and got out. Got the match real good. It's looks real good on the standing wave and pretty much covers the entire band without a whole lot of adjustment. So, and it's over about, oh God, I don't know how many radios I got out there, over probably 100.
Wow, it's amazing you can find somebody. Usually people on 80 are a little bit left of center.
Yep, that's the vertical, and the other antenna for 80 is a dipole, but it's close. It's an NVIS, so it does real well close in within 1,000. But I wanted something to, because I got verticals and horizontals for all the other bands except this one. At the moment, I've only got the loop for this one, but I wanted because I got it for 40. I got it vertical, horizontal, 60, same thing, 80, same thing now. So just trying to keep my diversity profile open there in case things change.
Good evening, Toadmeisters, W2KRY.
Good evening, and 3 or more.
Hello, Randy, WG2E.
Hi, Mark. Hi, Carl. Hi, Ray.
Hello, Randy.
Good, Randy. N1SAG, Dave.
Hey, Dave, how you doing tonight?
Very well, thanks for asking. Hope you're all doing as well as I am.
Well, things are looking up. I just had a nice little contact on 20 as the window was closing. I talked to Mikhail in Lebanon.
Really?
Oui.
I got 20. I could do. What frequency were you talking to, Mikhail?
20. It was 1470 or something like that.
Okay, yeah. 14 had to be. Were you around 1470?
That ain't right.
That ain't right. It's like a carpet shower.
No, 14170.
That better.
Okay, 170.
Let's not get all technical, okay?
Well, this kind of is a technical hobby.
Well, you need to tone it down a bit, all right?
I'm reading about my new Omeron blood pressure tester. I just bought a real nice state-of-the-art blood pressure tester, so I want all you guys to just be very calm and don't get me all fired up.
Tell me.
Hey, I got one of those things. It works pretty good.
We need about 3 more weak stations from New York City to come in and get audio reports. That ought to do, Ray, right?
What's that tester, Ray?
What was that?
What is a tester? Tell me about it.
Well, it's just a blood pressure tester. It tests your blood pressure.
Yeah, I got 2. Tell me about yours.
Well, I don't know. It's an Omeron. They're supposed to be the best ones, the best, most accurate.
Yeah, and it just tests your blood pressure. Automatic reads the numbers out. You don't have to listen with the headphones or anything.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, I got one too, but it doesn't work that well.
Remember, that goes around your arm, not your neck.
Yeah, okay. I'll try to remember that.
Yeah, not around your neck, Ray. It's got to go around your arm.
What is your blood pressure?
When I just took it now, it was 138 over something. I don't know what it was, but I was, running around up and down the stairs doing stuff, so. And I just ate too, so that's, not a real accurate measurement.
Yeah.
That's a great high number.
Yeah, when I went into the ER today for this laryngitis, it was 158 over 62.
Wow. Well, that's kind of an odd split, isn't it? 158 is high and 160. What was it? Over 62? That's kind of low.
Yeah, high and low. But I got white coat syndrome.
What syndrome?
White coat. The white coat tears you, and your blood pressure goes high.
Oh.
Yeah, I got that. I went in there, and the doctor told me that too, and I never knew there was that syndrome. Over.
Oh yeah, it's well known, white coat syndrome. You go to the doctor and your blood pressure goes up.
Do they take two? They switched arms on me once, or no? They switched arm bands. That's what they did. They put a bigger, fatter arm band on. Did they do that to you?
No, they used the wrong arm too. I check my blood pressure often because I'm, I have high cholesterol and all that garbage, and I wasn't really worried. It's usually about 120 over 70.
Yeah, I don't even know what mine is, but they said I'd live, so I was happy to hear that.
Well, I think this loop is working. I did have a 3/8 inverted L, which worked quite well, but I tore it down to make an extended double ZEP for 40, so anyway, this is a real 160 meter antenna. First time I've had a full wave loop. I've had a half wave and a 3/4 wave. I've never had a full wave on 160.
Now all you need is another zero behind the 400.
15 minutes or so. You're almost 30 over now, and 10 over on my beverage.
Yeah, you're 40 over 9.
Is that Tim down there?
Roger.
It's Randy up in Liverpool, New York. You're thumping up against 20 over W2KRY.
Right, but I got lousy audio. Well, I can't help it if I got laryngitis and a sore throat.
Well, I don't think you have lousy audio. I think it's just conditions for right now, and your laryngitis.
I told him to put his cold filter on. Anyway, Tim, you are approaching 20 over down here on the trend now that the band's opened up enough.
Roger, roger. How about that?
Yep, yeah, you just touched it there, that last one.
Yeah, you're 20 over also.
Yeah, I think you'll really like that loop, but I can't say any better.
I can't get the other end up high enough yet. I'm working on it, but, it's all woods. And I was in there cutting trees, this and that, and, if I can get both ends at 60, I'll really be happy with it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the higher the better, but whatever you're doing right now, it's doing just fine.
That's what she said.
Yeah, you just popped up to 30 over here, Tim, N1SAG.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Why don't you find the other microphone and wire it up to that thing?
Yeah, I could. It's a good Heil microphone. Yeah. You haven't seen my shack. It'd probably take me a week to find it.
Yeah, that hand mic's a lot to be desired on the audio there, Tim, so if you could find something a little better, that'd be great.
I know.
Believe me, it's almost unreadable. People would disagree with what I just said, but you have absolutely terrible audio. And on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 2 or a 3. It's really poor. So you really ought to shop for a better microphone or something.
Yeah, that's good to know. I've been using it for 10 years.
Yeah, but he's better than when he first came in, Ray. It's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I would certainly want much better audio than he has even now. It is better, but it's still lousy.
Hey, Ray, why don't you mail him one of your D104s?
And don't get your blood pressure up.
That's right. Yeah, well, listen to that too long. My blood pressure will be 300 over 200.
Why don't you set that thing up for like a warning? If it gets beyond some certain level, we'll hear beeping in the background.
No, like I said, I just took it now and it looked good. Where's Randy? Where's my pal Randy? Where is he?
Randy's on his way to Xenia.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he is at all. That wouldn't surprise me in the least little bit.
He should be in his mobile by now.
He probably is. I bet you he is.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting my 7000 out in the mobile today because I'm getting a little tired of that stupid 706.
706 isn't that bad a radio. The 7000's is obviously better, but I don't think it's a big deal. You got all these radios. I mean, why didn't you just sell all of them and buy a Kenwood?
Well, the problem is that they're all junk, Ray. Nobody wants them.
Oh, that's not true. People still pay really good money for that 706. I'll bet you can get $450 for a 706 easy, maybe even more.
A 706 with the 2-meter side blown out of it?
Oh, well, okay, I can't help that.
It receives on 2 meters, but the final's gone on it.
Okay, here we are in Barefoot. Am I still bad, Ray?
Well, what did you change, Tim?
Barefoot, no amplifier.
Oh, go back.
Well, let me hear it without the amp, and then turn the amp right back on and say the same thing.
I don't know how to do that. I kid you not. It'll be 3 minutes before I can come on with the amplifier.
Okay, he's non-amplified right now.
Well, no kidding. The audio's not much better. It might be a little bit better, but not much.
Okay, so it's not RF getting into the mic.
Well, you got somebody's doubling with you. Say again, Tim.
Said it's not RF into the mic.
It might be. You might be getting some RF in there because, like I said, to me it sounds clearer on the 100 watts.
Okay, let me out of here. Gonna go have some supper. See you later. N1DVL and everybody, W3HHN. Bye-bye.
Take care, Tim.
What kind of amp is it?
ACOM 1000.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll see you later. N1DVL.
Come on back when you're done, Tim. We'll be here.
Roger. Yeah, I'll probably get the Heil on tomorrow. I gotta find it, though.
Well, that may not cure your problem. I'm no big Heil fan. I like the professional series. You want a BCD-1, MXL, BCD-1. That's the mic you probably really want.
Roger, Dodger. 7-3.
Okay, 7-3. I think it sounds better without the amp. Okay, N1 DBL.
Ray, you keep pushing these big, fancy, spectacular microphones on people. You know, a lot of amps are really cheap. I'm one of them.
I understand that, but, you know, you really don't want to get into this with me because as cheap as you are, you're still not very smart because you're keeping that $100 microphone, which sounds like crap. So, I mean, it makes no sense whatsoever, absolutely none. You know, like I said, you don't want to get into finance with me, okay? Because I'm the wrong guy to talk to about finance. Because most people are so stupid when it comes to money. It's shocking.
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure, Ray. I've already sold microphone, Ray. You're making some assumptions here.
Well, why didn't you just send it back and get a full refund? Did you get the same amount of money within like $10?
Well, I'll probably get the same amount of money I spent to buy it. Plus, I get the satisfaction of the person that buys it from me. I can pick on them for lousy audio, too.
Well, whatever. The one you want for your radio, it's already been checked out. It's already been proven. You want the BCD-1, and you want the preamp that what's his name has, what Chris has. You want that exact same preamp. And believe you me, I am the last guy in the world that would ever recommend a preamp for anything. But in his case, that radio sounds far, far, far better with the preamp. And he's got one of the best sounding 7300s I've heard.
So now I got to buy two more things.
Well, the microphone, so you're going to spend an extra $50 or $60 on the microphone, and the preamp's another $50 or $60. But then you're going to sound like a professional ham station, like you should sound on the world famous Toad Harbor net.
Well, you know, Ray, there's no professionals here. We're amateurs.
Well, you speak for yourself.
Professional amateurs.
You're just an amateur like the rest of us, Ray.
Not me. I'm a professional. I have a professional station. I don't have, I have a professional grade radio here, professional grade, plus the amplifier, plus the tuner. I was out working on my antenna today, and I had I fired 3 arrows today, and none of them did what they had to do.
And you don't have a professional grade radio because you're not running a Yaesu.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, as good as that Yaesu is, it may not sound as good as the Kenwood because the 3000 radio, the Yaesu 3000, is a lousy sound. Well, I shouldn't say lousy because there was one of them here. Kevin's got one that sounds good, but as a general rule, they're very buckshotty. They have a very wide spectrum on their signal. They're not a very clean transmitter. Did you hear Ulrich? I'm going to call him Ulrich from now on. But were you paying attention to Ulrich? He's there's the what do you call it? Most of you guys probably don't really understand exactly who and what he is, but that's the godfather of ham radio there, without any bullshit. I mean, he's the Einstein of ham radio.
Ulrich.
Okay, Ulrich. However, whatever. Ulrich. Okay, I'll call him Ulrich. But whatever. He's truly and honestly, he's the father of all these radios. And you heard him. I mean, he helped design the 7851 or 7850, and he's got the first one, first serial number and all that stuff.
Yeah, okay. That's impressive, but we're all still just amateurs.
Well, there's the man you want to listen to when it comes to radios. If he speaks, you listen.
Well, usually when you speak, I listen.
Well, believe you me, most of the stuff I learned about receivers, I learned from reading his articles. If you want to know everything there is to know about receivers, go back to about 1975 and get every single article he ever wrote in all the different magazines. And he probably wrote for 4 or 5 different magazines. And start way back in 75 and carefully read them until you understand them. And then you'll know everything you need to know about receivers.
It'll just end up having me spend a bunch of more money, and I'm too cheap for that.
Well, I mean, really, in all honesty, in today's standards, if you have a Yaesu 101, a Kenwood 890, or the 7851, that's it. You really can't. It doesn't matter which one of those radios you have. They're all good.
So I'm wondering if I should buy the 890 here as soon as possible so that I can rub it in my buddy Jeffrey's nose.
Well, the 890 is a very good radio, and and as much as you guys probably don't believe this, I am really, put out. I don't know how, I don't have a. Do any of you people know who Gore Vidal was?
Who are these people, Ray?
Oh my God, you guys are so sheltered. Gore Vidal. He used to be on TV back in the 70s and maybe the 80s. He had a couple of his own shows, and he had a command of the English language like no other person I have ever seen. I mean, he just had such incredible speaking when he talked. He just was so good at it and explaining and talking and using big words and stuff. I mean, he was just an amazing guy, Anyway, you got to know all these people because they all add something to your knowledge.
Dude, that was like back before they signed the nuclear test ban treaty. I mean, it's ancient. Dinosaurs were still walking on certain parts of the earth. Let it go, man. The war's over.
Have you ever seen, listen, I feel really bad for a guy like you, Have you ever seen John Cameron Swayze strap a Timex watch to an outboard motor live on television and spin her up in a 55-gallon drum with water slashing all over the place? And they pull they tip the motor and they pull the blade out of the water to show you the Timex is still ticking and it fell off and it's in the bottom of the tank.
Okay, right now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to completely blank your mind with what you're thinking and doing right now and take your blood pressure.
No, it's downstairs. Anyway, so John Cameron Swayze turns up the motor and there's the no Timex on it, and he goes, now this is live, mind you, and he says, and I can assure everybody out there that watch is still ticking.
Okay, and what does that have to do with anything?
Just the good stuff you've missed. Who was the first guy that did the Tonight Show? I'm having a mental block. Carl, you may know. Who was the first guy that actually was in command of the Tonight Show?
Jack Parr?
Jack Parr.
No. Way before Jack Parr. He was the guy that flew the Sky King airplane. Remember the plane that Sky King flew? This guy had one of those. What the hell was his name? It's right on the tip of my tongue. It starts with a K, I think.
The Songbird. That was the name of that plane.
Okay, now who was the guy who owned it? Oh, the Songbird. That was Sky King's plane. But the guy that was the first guy, just look it up on the computer. The first guy to do the Tonight Show back in the early 60s.
Steve Allen.
It wasn't him. There was a guy before Steve Allen, I think.
Negative. There was Steve Allen, Jack Parr, Johnny Carson, Jay Leno, Conan O'Brien, and Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, nope. You're missing one guy.
No, that's all there was.
There's a guy you're missing.
So you're thinking television. You have to go to the Tonight Show before television when they were doing radio.
No, this guy, listen, I used to watch this guy late at night on the Tonight Show, so I know, and they probably did not call it the Tonight Show, but he had the original, 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning show, and they'd all sit there smoking. There was, 6 guys or 5 guys around the table, and they were all smoking. And he flew that Songbird. He flew the exact same plane, and he used to land at Teterboro Airport down in New Jersey all the time.
From 50 to 51, it was called the Broadway Open House, and it was hosted by comic Jerry Lester.
Yeah, no, that's not it either. Keep on going. Keep on looking for that, who did that 1 o'clock in the evening show. And when you get him, I'll know who it is.
Ernie Kovacs.
No, it wasn't Ernie Kovacs. Ernie Kovacs was a comedian.
But he hosted it.
Well, maybe he did. And I remember Ernie Kovacs, but that's not the guy. Geez, I wish my mother was still alive. I'd call her right now and she'd tell me in 1 second flat. She had a good head on her shoulders.
How old was your mom when she died?
A week shy of 96.
Oh my God, we got to put up with you for that long?
I hope so.
Maybe I should take up golf.
Oh, come on, guys. Get those computers going. Get those computers going. Who was that guy? His name, I think his name was something with a K. It might have been King. I think his name was King. What the hell was it?
Ray, get your computer going and tell me the name of the show.
I can't. I don't have a computer, number one. Number two is, they didn't. I don't believe it was called The Tonight Show back then. You know, so just look up shows for ABC, CBS, and whatever, NBC. It was probably NBC from, say, around, let's say, 56 through 62 or 3.
For some reason, the name Art Linkletter comes to mind, and I don't know why.
No, it wasn't Art Linkletter. He had his own show, and he was on during the daytime.
Kids say the darndest things.
We need Bob. Where's Bob? Bob, 2D. Are you in here?
I think I was born 2 generations late.
Come on, you guys. You gotta get that name.
Well, you sure it's The Tonight Show?
No, he's not.
No, I don't think it was called The Tonight Show back then, but it was on late at night. It was on, probably somewhere around 12 or 1 in the morning.
I never stayed up that late when I was a kid anyway.
Yeah, really?
Joe Franklin?
What?
How about Joe Franklin?
No, never even heard of that name. It's getting close. It's almost coming out of my mouth. I can't quite figure it out.
Well, if you stop thinking about it, it'll come to you. Your subconscious works that way.
What year was it?
I told you, it's somewhere between probably 1957 and 63 or 4.
Not Merv Griffin.
No, Merv Griffin was much later. He was on in the 80s.
1950s American late night television series. 2 pop up: The Ernie Kovacs Show and The Tonight Show.
Right, and who was doing The Tonight Show then?
I told you, Jack Paar was the first.
Okay, go through that list. Jack Paar was first. Who was second?
Joey Bishop?
No, Joey Bishop, no, it wasn't him. It wasn't Jack Paar. I remember watching Jack Paar, and Jack Paar had a great show. He was a really gifted showman. He was great, but that's not the guy. Look, you guys did say Steve Allen, right? Maybe I'm thinking of Steve Allen. Did Steve Allen fly a plane?
Yes, he did.
Maybe it's Steve Allen I'm talking about. So did Steve Allen did The Tonight Show between when and when?
54 to 57.
Yeah, that's probably who I was thinking of then. It's probably Steve Allen. That's who I'm thinking of, I think. I got to admit, Johnny Carson, although his show was different. Back then, the Steve Allen show and Jack Paar, those were talk shows. They were talk shows. You learn. They were intelligent. You learned stuff. They interviewed guests. Johnny Carson was more of a, he wasn't really an interviewer.
During the late 50s, 60s, and 70s, they had to start their campaign of dumbing down the public. So any shows that were informational like that were already destined and doomed to be removed.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Johnny Carson was in England one time. This is a great thing. He's in England, and he's in, I think it was Harrods, and this guy walks up to an American and he says, "Do you know where men's hosiery is?" And Johnny says, "No, gee, I'm sorry, I really don't." And he says, "Well, you go up this aisle and you take the stairs and you go to the second floor and turn to your right." And the guy just turns away and walks away. Well, Johnny Carson thought that was the greatest thing he ever heard in his whole life because the guy spoofed him great. So Johnny Carson found out who he was, but probably through the TV show, and he had him on the show. And that guy was a fireman. He was a firefighter in the United States.
Oh, by the way, Ray.
I'm all ears.
I've noticed every now and then when I'm on the beverage antenna, when I put the preamp 1 or 2 on, I do get a little blink every now and then, just ever so briefly, of a little red light beside the filter 1 at the top. Is that the overload light?
I'm sure if it's red, yep, that's the overload light, yep.
It doesn't change the audio or do anything weird. It's just for a split second, and then it goes away.
Well, okay. Put the preamp on when you're receiving on the loop.
All right, let me try that. Hold on.
He's new, Ray. He's new.
Hey, Mark. Mark.
Okay, preamp is on. Yes, I'll get you in just a second. Preamp is on. Number 2 on the loop.
Right, so is the red light on? Hello, Tess. Mary had a little lamb.
No, it just makes you sound great, so I'm going to make sure I remember not to use that setting. Whoever's calling me, go ahead.
Yeah, just push him over the edge and say MFJ.
Then he'll have a heart attack.
and it's so, I mean, he's got the blood pressure thing all the way down at the other end of the house so that, just when he needs it, when he's on here, it's far away.
Yeah, go ahead. Who was the weak one? Was that Randy? You on the mobile?
Bad Randy.
He's on his way to Xavier or whatever it is.
I got to deliver T-shirts.
Xenia.
So you put the antenna on the pickup?
No.
Oh, you're home.
Yeah.
Now your signal's up.
My signal's at 100 watts. Actually, 75 watts. My amp driving power.
So what is Rob Sherwood giving a talk over?
Well, you're 10 over here, Rand.
How great the leader of the Toad Harbor Net is.
Well, so that's only going to take about 5-10 seconds. Then what is he going to talk about?
Who cares?
He's going to talk about Randy.
Oh, I found the combination that makes Ray stronger than Randy. When I'm on the East-West beverage, Ray's twice the strength that Randy is.
Hey, Randy.
Wrong, my friend.
Okay, so listen. Okay, everybody listen here. Is anybody a bow and arrow expert?
Yes.
Who is this?
Randy.
Okay, well anyway, here's what I did today. I had 2 coils of I had 15-pound test and 20-pound test line out on my table out there. So I wound the 15-pound test onto the reel the other day, and I went out with my arrow, and I fired 1 arrow, and here's the thing and this happened before with the 15-pound test. You pull back the arrow, you let it go. Literally, the arrow just takes off and goes right out of sight because the line breaks instantly, but yet it doesn't get caught on anything. It doesn't get wrapped around the reel or something and break it, because you'd feel it. You'd feel the bow, you'd feel it stop the arrow. You pull back the arrow, you let it go, and it's just like the arrow's free flying, and it doesn't pull the line, and the line just breaks. So I said, well, that sucks. So I went back down, I found the arrow. First time I found the arrow, I went down and I did the whole thing over again, second shot again, exactly the same thing. It breaks right at the arrow, and that's the end of it. So I took both lines, the 15 and the 20-pound test, and I threw them in the trash because I looked at the lines very carefully, and maybe every 5 or 6 feet there was it looked like the line was, like it was just something wrong with it. It wasn't clearly smooth through it, like opaque. It would be a spot where it was all screwed up. So that line sat out in the sun on that table for a year or a year and a half or 2 years. So I'm assuming the sun destroyed the lines because, they're plastic. So I went up to Home Depot, and they had 2 kinds of line. One was $1.74, and the other one was like $6.79. So I bought some 20-pound test, 20-pound test, the $6.79 stuff. I wind it on the reel. I go back out. I pull the bow back as far as I can. I let it go. It spooled right out, and the arrow's not going far enough. I'm shooting it from the top of the hill over the trees, and I want it to come down right by my tower in my driveway, and it came down way short, got tangled up in the trees. I pulled it back. I broke it off. I saw the arrow was way up. It broke off. It's tangled up in the tree. So I'm usually, what happens a week, 2, 3, 4, a month later, the arrow's sticking in the ground. But anyway, here's my question. What angle gives you the maximum range? That's why I was looking for Bob 2D, because he's the one that always says that. I think it's around 50 degrees. I think he said it's 47 degrees or 48 degrees. Do you know anything about that?
45 degrees is, so it's got to be, like you're saying, 47, whatever. But, whatever.
It's not supposed to be 45. It's supposed to be higher than that. But anyway, I'm not getting enough range. So here's my next question. If you're a bow and arrow expert, I've got 2 different size arrows. One arrow is about 4 inches longer than the other. With the short arrow, I can pull it all the way back, and I could pull it where the arrow comes off the bow. With the long arrow, I can't pull it back. I still got 3 or 4 inches left. Does that make a difference? Which one would go further, the short arrow or the longer one?
The longer one with the heavier pound test on it.
Yeah, I would switch over to like 10-pound trilene. Get some different line. Same thing happens when I use 20-pound in a slingshot. It doesn't go very well at all. But 10-pound flies like it's not even connected to anything, and it's very, very strong. New trilene is very strong.
Maybe he needs more weight on the arrow.
No. Wait a second, Dave. Okay, there's the problem right there. The 20-pound test pulls the arrow down. There's no doubt about it. But when I use the 15-pound, it just breaks every single time. Now, maybe the trilene won't break. You've tried 10-pound test, and that works?
That's what I have in my mind right now, and that's very hard to break, by the way. But the reason that yours is breaking all the time because some dumb nut left the thing out in the sun, and sun is just super, super bad for fishing line, especially the cheap, clear, like the whitish, opaque colored stuff. That just gets destroyed in hours, I think, in the sun. It's just horrible for the sun.
Yeah, ultraviolet just tears it up.
It's just a recurve.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. The line was lousy. So, okay, so I'm not getting the range I need. So, you sure 10? To me, 10 pounds seems awful light.
You use a recurve or a compound?
I use 10 pounds on my slingshot.
I'm asking Ray.
Well, I'm telling you the answer.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about yours.
I don't have one.
So you don't think 10-pound test will break?
I think you could break it if you tried hard enough, but I don't break it with my slingshot.
Hey, Ray.
Yeah.
What kind of knot are you using to tie this string to your to the monofilament to your arrow?
Well, what I'm doing now is I put it straight down the arrow from the back, and I just put tape around it, and the tape holds it fine. And there's no knot.
Oh, there you go. There's your problem.
Yeah.
No, it's not the problem. It's not pulling off the arrow. When I get the arrow, the lines are still attached to the arrow with 10 or 15 feet of line on it.
Line has to be out in front, sitting in front of you, and coming in from the front on the arrow, so that when you let it go, there's nothing in the way.
You using a fishing reel?
Am I using what?
A fishing reel.
Yes.
Open face or closed face?
Open face.
I would recommend a closed face.
Well, hell, that makes it much. I can't believe that's not going to cause much more of a problem.
That's what mine is. Mine's closed face. I tried an open face. It won't unspool fast enough.
Exactly. Plus, it goes everywhere. You'd be surprised what happens. You think about frequency. You're pulling this stuff out, and it hits some kind of a frequency, and next thing you know, you got a rat's nest, and it balls up.
Mine is closed face.
Yeah. All of them that I've ever seen that anybody uses for this kind of thing has always been a closed face.
So how do you wind how do you tie the, what is the plastic thing come off a closed face, and then you wind all the cable up, and then you snap it in place?
Yeah, you feed it through. It's got one hole in the top, and it just like a cone shape, so it feeds the line through smooth.
I understand what it looked like, but how do you tie the line on with the cone on it?
You take the cone off, you wrap it around 2 times,
to the
and you tie it,
put a few turns
so
around
make a very
it, and
small
crank
knot, and then you put the cone back on, and you, like I use a buddy system. I just have Maureen put a little bit of drag on the trilene on a pencil or something, and then I just reel it up. You know, if you don't want, the thing is, you don't want it real tight, because then it'll be hard to get off the spool.
It has memory for a while.
I've had good luck spraying the line with WD-40.
Just go buy a Zebco 33 and it's got the line on it that you need, man. What the hell?
There you go. Words of wisdom.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I use, a Zebco 33, and it comes with the 10-pound, the good line.
What is it cost?
They're great
How much
reels,
does that
man.
reel
I'm
cost?
telling you, you can't beat them.
I have 2 Zebco 33s here. That's what I use.
How much do they cost?
Like $30.
You know, there's 6 people answering every single time. How much? $30?
Yeah, less than that, actually.
Yeah, you can buy the whole combo with the rod and the reel and everything for like $26.
You get Snoopy pole for like $12.
Okay, everybody stop, okay? This is just crazy. It's starting to annoy the shit out of me.
Well, then you
Everybody's
need to
just
relax.
talking a mile a minute. Nobody's answering. So Randy, I'm going to let Randy answer this question. It's a Zebco. It starts with a Z. Is that correct?
Blood pressure.
Yeah, it's a Zebco, Z-E-B-C-O. Yeah, you can get them from Walmart. They have them right now for $24. Dick's has them for $20. Z-E-B-C-O 33.
Shut up. And you've tried the 20-pound
that blood
test, and that
pressure meter.
doesn't work.
Yeah, I have 20-pound done. Yeah, I've got to go help Maureen. I've got 20-pound, and I had I'm trying to think now, because I had, on the original one, I had lousy fishing line. It came with lousy fishing line. And that's why I paid more, because you can buy them with better fishing line and loaded with, I forget how many yards. Doesn't matter. So that one kept breaking with 10-pound line. It was a clear line, okay? And then I put on 20, and that was too heavy. And then I put on, I think I settled for like 15-pound line, and that worked really, really good. And that reel got old, and I left it outside. So I took that one off, and I chucked, well, I didn't chuck it, I saved it for parts. And I bought another one, but I bought one that was $33 or like $29 or something, and it had really, really, really good fishing line on it, and that's why it was more expensive. So I bought that, and I used that, and that works really, really good. And it's 10-pound line.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll go back and try 15, because that's what I used to use, but it used to break a lot. So I'll buy that Trilene 15-pound, and I don't know about the reel. I'll shoot another one tomorrow and see if I can change the angle. I'm gonna shoot from a different spot. Maybe I can make it.
The problem with 20-pound test is you can't get enough line on the reel.
You're right. Yeah, you try to clear a tree, and the next thing you know, it's coming back at you because it got taut.
Right. Well, this time here, the arrow went up to the top of the tree and got stuck, and there was still a lot on the reel, But you're right. That is an issue. So maybe I'll just go back tomorrow and keep on screwing around with it until I get it, because that's the one line I'm having trouble with.
If you want to do it and really do it good, I'll be honest, I would ditch the fishing. I would ditch the arrow, and I would just go and well, you probably don't want it, but at HRO they sell the wrist rocket launchers or whatever they're called, and that thing is awesome. It comes with the right reel on it, and you just take you don't use tennis balls, you use golf balls instead, and I'm telling you, you can put it right through the whatever crotch you want to put it through. It's deadly accurate.
Easy hang.
Yeah, the easy hang. Thank you. That thing works dynamite. And I brought mine got worn out, so I put new rubber bands on it. It doesn't have the pouch as big. It doesn't hold the golf ball as well, and it's not near as good. So I'm thinking I'm just going to order a new easy hang.
What's that whole unit cost?
I think it was $89.
Tell them what we did, Mark. KB3JZ.
I've got the Canon too, and the Easy Hang is way better than my Canon that I have. That I use 100 pounds of air in, and the Easy Hang is just killer, way better.
Yeah, I got pretty good with mine. WG2E.
So what's the big difference between 15-pound test and 20-pound test, other than you can't get as much on the reel? The 20-pound pulls that much more drag?
Yep. It depends on probably what 20 pounds you get, too, because now they make all this high-tech fishing line. But the 20-pound that I had was just thicker and more unwieldy, didn't come off good. It was a dramatic difference. I mean, it was like night and day. I got to go help Maureen. We're still moving. I just wanted to stop in and say hello and enlighten them that and all that stuff that I do. KB2ZVP.
Ray, look into the braided line.
Hey, Ray, WA1NGH.
Yes, Jack, go ahead.
Ray, what for bow and arrow, or what for bow are you using?
Stand by. Jack, go ahead.
How many pounds is that bow?
50.
Wow. I use a 24-pound pull. I have a spool of Dacron. Probably got a mile on it. I throw it on the ground in front of me. I drill a hole through the front of the arrow, and I can shoot over anything 100 feet high. And the Dacron line I use is probably a 30, 40-pound test.
You're using 30 or 40-pound test, and you can shoot over the trees?
Yeah, no problem. And that's with a 24-pound recurve. And they have to drill a hole through the front of the arrow, right below right after the tip, inside the line there. You don't want it, if it's trailing back through the feathers and stuff, it won't go anywhere.
Well, I just tape it on. I tape it on with the Scotch 30, Scotch 33. I think if you tie the string in a knot, I think that weakens it. So I just put it right along the arrow and tape it in 2 spots, and that holds no. I tried to pull it off. You cannot pull it. You'd think you'd be able to pull it right through the tape, but you can't.
Well, I mean, okay, but don't tape it in 2 spots. You just tape it around the very front of the arrow, and I don't know how much the tape weighs. That adds to the, the resistance of the flight and stuff, but it's got to be up front.
Well, see, I tape it right at the back. To me, up front is going to unstabilize the arrow.
It does. The back unstabilizes the arrow way more than the front. If you tie it on the tip, of course, like that, I put the spool in front of me on the ground, and I pull that thing backwards and all this works, and I never had any issues at all. My overall.
Okay, well, that's what I'll do. So how far back from the tip of the arrow should I put it?
Right after the tip. I don't know how heavy your field tip is. Right after the tip. Right behind the tip.
Okay, Jack, thank you. Hey, and to the idiot, to the stupid idiot that's in there whistling, obviously you have a cheap radio, because this radio has the notch thing. So all I do is push the notch button, put it on top of you're sucking on your microphone, and I can't hear you at all. I just want you to really understand how useless and stupid you really are. N1 DBL. Yeah, and you are a little homo, and you know it. But the guy whistling, you 2 idiots are 2 stupid CBers, and you're so stupid, you just don't belong in a place like this. You cannot hang with guys like us, so go back to where you came from.
Ignore it, Ray.
200.
Actually, I think he is the mascot, and he hangs here.
They're so stupid. It's pathetic. They're pathetic. They just make themselves look dumber than you know what. They're incredibly stupid people. They just don't belong here. They got to go back to where they can at least be there. They can be with equals.
Don't let them into your head, Ray.
Ray, Gary has a story he'd like to share with you if you have a moment that you're done beating up on the mascots.
Blood pressure.
Gary? Go ahead, Gary.
Well, I tried the bow and arrow stuff, and we tried it, me and Park and I, and we found that the bow and arrow, just the plain arrow, didn't work out too well because you'd shoot it, and of course the drag line would pull it back at you. So what I came up with, is I got a big bolt, probably about 4 inches long and probably a ½ inch in diameter, and I taped it to the front of the bow, or the arrow, and that gave it some weight. And all I have is a 40-pound or 45-pound recurve, and that shot it up over 100 feet in the air and down the other side of the tree.
Yeah, okay, well, like I said, I'm going to try another shot. I can only do it in the morning because the wind always comes from the west, and if the wind's coming from the west or the northwest, it blows the arrow right back towards me, and you don't get any range. So that, today it was very calm. And you have RF. You're all RF'd up.
Okay, I turned the drive back. Is that better?
Yeah, I don't hear it now.
All right. The weight on the front of the arrow, just use some electrical tape and you tape this bolt onto it, and that makes it fly further and higher.
Hey, Ray.
My arrows are pretty heavy. I don't think the weight of the arrow's the issue. Yeah, go ahead.
They make a fishing arrow. It's fiberglass and it's got holes in it made for string, for shooting carp and stuff, and they're excellent for what you're trying to do.
Yeah, well, you can't find stuff like that around here. I was lucky. I went to my old gun store a couple of years ago, and the guy was selling out. He said, I'm getting rid of all my bow stuff. I said, well, give me every arrow you got, and I bought like 6 arrows, really cheap. And I just lost one, so there's one up in a tree. Hopefully it'll fall down.
I'll send one home with Randy.
Okay, well, I'm going to try Jack's idea of taping it up front. That'd make it a lot easier to deal with coming off the reel, and I think I got enough spool on the reel to make it, so we'll see if that works. Okay, I'll make my next shot tomorrow. N1 DBL.
May I pose a question to the net?
Certainly, go ahead.
I talked to Dave about this earlier, but I was wondering if anybody had any input on this Goshen, Connecticut Hamfest, if it's any good or what they thought or know about it.
This is K1RMA. Regarding that, it starts Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and this is the first time I've seen it, or I've never seen it, go till Sunday at 5 o'clock. So I guess they're trying something new. There's lots of room for camping, and I believe that's probably what they have in mind. I've been going to it for many, many years. It appears to be small, but I've always had very, very good luck, not only buying but selling. This is K1RMA in Connecticut.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly the kind of answer I was looking for. And so I guess you wouldn't know how the second day would be if this is the first time. But I was thinking that I might go out there Sunday and would end up being there somewhere around 12:30 or something like that. So hopefully it would still be going well by then.
I have no idea. I just know that I'll be there at 8 o'clock Saturday morning, setting up tailgate. There are some real big buildings that people can use if it's raining. Not only that, you can drive right in and drop off your stuff, rent a table. So it's convenient as hell. And they're probably trying to make it into something like the one that's up in, New Hampshire or Vermont? No. New Hampshire, I guess. Deerfield. So we'll see what happens. I certainly wish them a lot of luck. This is K1RMA.
Carl?
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Don. Yeah, I appreciate the information, and I may just go there Sunday afternoon and give it an eyeball. Go ahead, Ray.
Now, here's my question for you. With a guy that's got all the sophisticated equipment that you have, what could you possibly be looking for at a hamfest like that?
Oh, I don't know. I went to this one here last week with the electric X-ray beam, and I got some nice, components and connectors and various odd things, and talked to some people and looked at some old stuff and talked about the good old days. It was just kind of a nice time.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if you're just looking to shoot the bull with hams, yeah, that I can understand that. But, I mean, usually those ham fests are just filled with old, tired junk.
Yeah, I know. Occasionally you get lucky, but I guess there's a breakfast thing going on in Pittsfield Sunday, and it's only an hour and a half from there, so I thought maybe I might do both.
Okay, sounds like fun.
Thanks again, Don. I appreciate the info.
Okay, certainly. And being that I was listening to you guys for the last 20 minutes or so regarding how you get stuff up in the trees and so forth, for many, many years I've been using a simple surf casting outfit, utilizing 30-pound test and a 3-ounce sinker, and I can put that 100 feet up in a tree. Most of the trees that I have surrounding me have all got cables and ropes in them, and it's all due to the surf casting. Works out like a bandit for me. This is K1RMA.
Yeah, but you can't pick a spot through branches and surf cast through the trees like I have to here.
Good golly, I certainly wish you luck, Ray.
Yeah, I got to pick a hole and through a branch, and you just don't have. It's all woods. I mean, I'm standing in the woods, shooting from in the woods out. Hopefully, and the arrow lands in my yard.
You know, you ought to take a picture of that.
I'm telling you, the slingshot is the way to go.
Well, maybe. I've done it before. You know, Jack says tying the string to the front of the arrow's the secret, so that's what I'm going to do.
A pumpkin can.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would think that would have a tendency to pull the front of the arrow down. I would think you would want it drug off the back of the. And one thing I didn't mention is what I do. Like when I tie to a golf ball, I got to put a hook in it, right? So I build this little hook, and if I take fishing line right to that sharp edge of I use an eye. So it'll pull the string taut and it'll break it right there. And what I do is I take a little bit of mason cord, just a 6-inch piece, make a circle, put it through that eye, and then tie to that the fishing line to that, and it doesn't break the fishing line because it's not a sharp edge, and that works really good. But I'll tell you, if you were standing 200 feet away from me, straight out away from me, or 300 feet straight out away from me, I could easily hit you in the chest with a golf ball. Or if you were standing up in a tree and your hands over your head, I could put the golf ball between your arms. It's very, very accurate.
Right. Well, like I said, I'll try working on this a little more, and if I can't do that, then I'll just have to buy the damn the other thing, you know, because this is usually. I mean, the last time I tried this, the first one broke the fishing line, and then I went with the 20-pound test, and the second arrow went out perfect and landed right in my yard, and I ran out of the line, so I spooled all the line off the thing, and it landed, but it still came down. So. Whatever, and I'll just keep on working on it. That's that one line. I know it's always a problem for me. Okay, N1 DBL.
WA2ES. I've used a black powder rifle and a sinker.
Yeah,
hey, Randy, is Sunday breakfast still on?
You're standing in the woods. You're not in a field. You're not shooting over a tree. You're standing in woods, and you have to shoot through the branches and up over the top of the trees and come down in my yard. You got to have a very high degree of accuracy to do that.
You don't think a black powder rifle does?
Yeah, but I don't think the fishing line is going to stay attached to it.
Well, it worked good for me, but I use spider wire and half-ounce sinker and put 10 grains of powder in the barrel on a piece of paper, and then just stuck the sinker in the top and put it right over the top of my 80-foot tower.
Is that spider wire, is that the real good stuff that's real light?
Yep, and it's unbelievably strong, but I wouldn't recommend it for a fishing rod, though. It eats them.
So, Randy, you had good luck with Trilene?
Yeah, I have. And I've got this stuff it's really, really hard to break. It's only 10-pound test, but it's not like, the simple clear or opaque color, 10-pound test, you can just take it and pull it and snap it. This stuff I got is green, and it's really, really strong, surprisingly strong.
Well, that's what I've got, green. It's green now. The Trilene is green. But Jack says he's using 30 or 40-pound tests with a 25-foot bow, and he's having no problem. So I'm not doing something right.
Yeah, I don't know. Doc said it sounds like this stuff may be spider wire. It may be, but I know it was more expensive to buy this reel with this wire on it, this green stuff, but it works good. I know, I can tell you that. But I think that you're using the wrong. The spinning rod is not the one to use, I don't think. Everything I've always seen that does something like this have always been closed-faced. And I've used open-faced many times fishing, and I just don't think, because they're a pain in the neck. And the closed face, I think, worked just way better.
Well, I'll keep on working at it until I get it. I'll figure it out.
Okay, totally agree with
Carry on. I'm gonna.
You can buy those Zebco 33
4-bin system, and right now I'm putting it in the magic cupboard over here. So I'll be on the side for a bit, listening. Stay under control, Ray. KB2ZVP.
Hey, Randy, is you guys still doing the Sunday in Pittsfield?
Yes, we are. At the Misty Moonlight at 10 o'clock.
Okay, I'm thinking about doing that and then going down to that Goshen Ham Fest after.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that sounds like fun. Is Jack still in here? Jack, are you still here? WA1NGH, are you there? I guess he's gone. I know Don said he's going to church. Randy, you're in here tonight. Are you going to breakfast on Sunday?
No, I've got it's the Liverpool Bayberry, yard sale weekend, so maybe I'm going to put some ads out, see if I can get some hams to buy my crap. And our niece, who's been staying with us for a couple years, has graduation. She's getting her master's from Oswego on Sunday, but I appreciate the offer.
Well, it wasn't much of an offer, just going out, driving a long ways to go to breakfast. I'm sure there's not too hard to find better things to do, for sure. All right, I'll be on the side. KB2's MVP.
KT2, the evening, guys.
It's about time. This is getting ridiculous.
Wait, I asked Bob. Bob's going to church, right?
I'm going to brunch.
Oh, are you going with us?
Yeah, I was planning on it.
Oh, outstanding.
Hey, Bob, you want to go to the Goshen Ham Fest after?
Let me think. I got to look at what's going on. Let me think about it, Carl. I hadn't really thought of that, and when you just announced it, I didn't realize it was going on. But I don't mean to be wishy-washy, but I just got to take a look because despite Ray's acrimony, I just got in, so it's been a long week for me. Not as long as Randy's days, but these have been long days for me. So anyway, I haven't really planned that far ahead.
All right, think about it. You're on the way for me.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, here's my question for you, Bob. Now, we know the maximum to get the maximum distance when you shoot around. You said it's 47 degrees?
Yeah, it's around 47, 48, something like that.
Now, does that go for just that dart, or does it go for a bow and arrow, too?
Yeah, the darts are a little different because they're out of the...
like 45 to 47 degrees, right? Miles a second, a 3.5-ounce baseball would have about 900 million pounds of torque. I think it is. I think it's right around. It's 10 digits, so it's like 900 and something million foot-pounds of energy at 80 miles per.
What's the weight of the ball?
3.5 ounces, which is 437.5 grains per ounce. So whatever that comes out to, multiply 437.5 times 3.5.
Yeah, okay. And then what was the speed?
I think I could only get up to 80 miles per second. 80 miles a second. Because I ran out of digits.
Oh, you were just, yeah, okay. Yeah, so the energy is 1/2 mv squared, but you got to watch the, you got to make sure the units are compatible. Yeah, let me see what I come up with. You want what, foot-pounds of energy?
Yes.
Trying to shoot that thing out of the solar system?
No, I wish I could get a calculator with about 50 digits on it, because I would love to try, just keep on, going upwards and push it up towards the speed of light. And just take something very small that weighs like, let's say, I don't know, 1 ounce or 1/4 of an ounce, or even 1 grain at the speed of light.
So, yeah, just put it, does your calculator do scientific notation? Then you don't need to worry about the digits.
Yes, it does, but I don't understand it enough. I could never figure out. It comes up and it tells you to, but it doesn't really mean much to me.
Okay.
Going to increase as you reach
yeah, that's what they say. I don't know. I think a lot of that stuff is theory, and it doesn't seem to make any sense to me. The Big Bang started from something the size of a pinhead and turned into the universe. That makes absolutely no sense to me.
I believe it's the mass that increases.
Yeah, it does. It's time dilation, mass increase, length contraction.
Do you take that into consideration with the tank cannon?
Only from the speed of light, right?
But do you take into consideration the rotation of the Earth and where on the Earth you are as in relationship to the equator?
Yep, for those long-range shots, if you want to be accurate, you got to do that. And if it's artillery, you got spin stabilized, so you got a Coriolis force, so you're going to get a lot of drift. So you get some actually side windage from it too. So yeah, there's a lot of to it when you duck range shots with these, long time of flight, 3 or 4 minute time of flight. A lot happens.
Right. So, but the point is, if you're taking a shot at say 2,500 yards with the tank, is the Coriolis effect taken into account?
Not with the spinners. They don't spin enough. But with not Coriolis, but it's a D'Alembert. It's a different thing. You get due to the right hand twist, like some of the slower rounds with the 105 millimeter guns. The ballistic computer took care of that because you'd get some drift to the right, and with a ballistic reticle that you could actually see, you could look through the sight, and it had the range lines in it. You could see how much it goes off. So it's enough that if you don't take into account on it, at about 2,500 meters, you would miss what you were shooting at if you didn't take into account for it. But that's the slow-moving, spin-stabilized ones. But for the fin-stabilized rounds, it's all taken care of in the fire control. It's not as much because they're so fast-moving.
Here's what else. With the dart, uranium dart, and you're sitting on the shore here, and it's a bunch of boats out in the ocean 116 kilometers away, and you fire one round, and then you hit in the water. Let's say that you see it, and when the tank fires another round, exactly everything the same. Will that round hit within, say 100 yards of the first one, or would it be way, way off?
What's the range again?
At maximum range, 116 kilometers.
Yeah, no, let's see. Usually the dispersion, the round-to-round dispersion at 1,500 meters, they generally want all rounds to be in a 12-inch circle. So it'll be considerably larger as you go out, of course.
But the 777 Let's say they're picking a target that's what's the max range on that gun? Like 20 miles?
I have to do it in kilometers, so right now they're shooting out, the actual numbers are, let's just say it's beyond 60 kilometers.
I didn't know they had that kind of range, but anyway. Okay, so let's say they're shooting at a target at max range, and they fire a round, and it hits the ground, and you got an observer there, and the guy says, okay, you hit right on target, fire another one. How close will that next round come to where the first one landed?
Well, if you're shooting out at max range, you usually don't fire those kinds of, the max range ones, you're way out there, so you're usually using smart bullets, so they're going to land all within like a 1 meter circle, which, you don't want to do that. I mean, they save those for max range for high value targets, interdiction, point targets, but generally when they, for, dumb bullets, and you remember there's meteorological effects, there's winds and loss, so there's a lot of variation in there, but they land within, mission 20 kilometers, 25 kilometers away, in a battery's firing. They're all within, like a 400 by 200 meter box.
How many? Say that again?
It all depends on how they have what they call this sheath, what they're shooting at, because remember they're primarily area target suppression. So at about 25 to 30 kilometers, they'll put all the rounds in like a 200 by 400 box.
In meters?
Yeah, 200, 400 meter box.
Oh, hell, that's way bigger than I thought it would be.
Oh, that's usually that's what they do with it, because they're generally going after area targets, but they can do point a little bit better than that. But remember, the bullets are they're really not designed to hit point targets. They're dumb bullets.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering, because I know that's all precision ammunition. Everything's made exactly the same. The way the powder charge, they'd be pretty accurate.
Yeah, I'll look it up. Because a lot of that stuff they're made to cover an area like that, because you're shooting at a formation that's dispersed. So it's just kind of a. But if they had the same gun firing the same rounds in, they'd probably land a lot closer. They're what they call an elliptical error probables, probably down around 30 to 40 meters.
Yeah, that's more like it. What's that, a 155? That's 777?
Yeah, they're all 155s. There's some towed 105s, but the Paladin, the self-propelled, and the 777, they're all 155.
So what are they doing from ships these days? What's the big gun on a ship nowadays?
It's basically a hood ornament. It's a 76 millimeter Italian gun, an Otto Malera. They have some 5-inch guns on there, which is 127 millimeters, but it's interesting. The Navy hates guns. They're enamored with missiles, and they hate guns.
Yeah, just like the F-4 Phantom.
Yeah, and then they had to scramble to stuff one in there.
Boy, I'll tell you what, it's just amazing. It's like politicians. They're, you hope they're smart, but most of them are so stupid, it's hard to believe they can find their way home from the office. And that some of the stuff they do in the military is just incredible. Leaving a gun out of a plane like that, to me, how could anybody do something like that? Doesn't the country still have several battleships they can put back in service if they had to? Every one of them? Now, with that technology today, if you took one of those chips out, you could put a smart bullet in it. Hell, the thing would be deadly, wouldn't it? Came up with like 900 million, somewhere around there, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty close. I got 606 million.
Yeah, still a lot of energy. Just think that hardball hit an Abrams tank, there'd be nothing left of it.
Yeah, oh yeah, it would do a lot of damage. You get a little mass going very fast. You can do a lot of stuff.
How much, now, it's another thing that I was thinking about today, N1DBL. How much does the speed of the bullet impact the damage? For instance, let's say you take the dart out of the tank and it's 6 million foot-pounds, 8 million foot-pounds, whatever it is. Now, what would happen if you just put 8 million pounds on the end of that dart and you dropped it from 1 foot? What would it do?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's a good, interesting question. Because the speed, generally your depth of penetration goes up with velocity. So the faster you target, your penetration up to a point. Once you start getting, your velocity, it tends to level out. You don't get any more depth given a set bullet, because what happens is you're getting so much penetration that you end up running out of rod, because as you're penetrating, your rod is eroding away. So for a while, depending on the length of the rod, you'll get the depth of penetration nominally with the length of your rod, depending on the hardness of the rod and the hardness of the target. Just assume it's the same, steel on steel. You'll get recent penetration up to a point, and when you run out of rod, it doesn't matter how fast you strike it, you don't get any more penetration. Okay, so yes, it does increase with velocity up to a point, and then it levels off.
But let's go back to a regular rifle bullet. Let's say you take a rifle bullet, and it's got 3,000 foot-pounds of energy at impact. And you know what that's going to do to, say, for instance, a steel plate. Say you had a 1-inch thick steel plate, and you hit it with say a 350 or 500 grain bullet, a penetrator, armor-piercing round at we'll say 3,000. We use 3,000 foot-pounds. So that would probably go right through a 1-inch steel plate with a 3,000 foot-pound. It's we'll give it 2,700 feet per second. That would go right through a 1-inch steel plate. Now, if you took that same bullet and you put 3,000 pounds on it as a weight and you dropped it on that 1-inch steel plate, I don't think it would do anything.
Either. You buckle the plate of the plate may bend, because then you're almost talking about a static load and not a dynamic load.
Right, so there's got to be, so what I'm thinking in my head is, there's got to be some ratio between velocity and energy to how much damage you get.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So you keep energy the same, but you drop the velocity down. Penetration. That's a thought experiment I gotta run through. Certainly increasing the velocity, keeping the mass, your energy's going up. The higher the velocity, the more penetration you get. It's obvious.
This all comes to mind because I was at a gun store one time, 35 years ago. And the guy had it looked like a tombstone. It was about maybe, 18 inches high and maybe, 10 inches. Just picture a piece of half-inch diamond plate steel, 10 inches wide and, 15 inches high, and it was curved at the top, just like a tombstone. And the guy had it leaning on a shelf there in the gun store. And there were 3 holes punched through it. And the holes looked like they were punched with a paper punch. You know the old paper punch you punch holes in paper with? The holes in that steel plate looked just like they were made with a paper punch. And I looked at it, and obviously a gun store, I picked it up. It weighed about 25 pounds or something. And I said to the guy, I said, how can you make holes through this steel plate? I mean, it just looked like a perfectly round hole, and it wasn't splayed out on the back side. The back side, if a bullet goes through a piece of steel, usually it pushes the steel in, and on the back side, there's all these fingers sticking out. It wasn't like that at all. It looked like somebody just used a paper punch in 3 different spots on it, and they were about half-inch diameter. And I said, clean as could be, though. It looked like they were done with a drill rather than a bullet. And he says, what do you think made those holes in that? I said, I don't know, but I said, the way they're so cleanly made, it looks like they were machined. He goes, no, that was a 444 Marlin lever action rifle. That's what you get out of one of those. I was amazed, because that's a soft point bullet, and yet it made perfectly clean holes through half-inch boilerplate.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So as you were saying that, I was thinking, yes, what you were saying is, they call it rose pedaling. So there's several types of armor response. One of them is slugging, which sounds like this one, where they're a bigger bullet, maybe a little slow moving, just pushes a plug of material right through it. If it's a little softer steel, you get that. You get spalling, where it just the shock of the back will actually, it'll just fall off a piece on the back.
Yeah, that's right. There wouldn't be a punch press. You have the punch, and you have the support in the back. And I don't know how a bullet could go through a steel plate without deforming the back. To me, that makes no logical sense. KB2V.
With diamond plate, right? Standard half-inch diamond. And like I said, those looked like they were drilled. You know, they almost looked like somebody drilled through them. And 440 Randy, that did that.
Yeah, I don't know how it could. I don't buy it. Unless they had something backing it up or something. I don't know how. Or they no, I don't know. I don't buy it. I think it's I think that they just were. Somebody was screwing around like they do.
I don't think so. These guys weren't that way. You know, the two guys that ran that store were really, really straightforward. They had no sense of humor or anything. They were just, they did it. And the holes, and keep in mind, the holes weren't 444. You know, that's a 444 Marlin. It's a 428 diameter bullet, 428 to 431. And those holes were bigger than that. And they melted through. That's what the guy said. He said that's what happens. Those bullets hit and they melt right through there. And they were so clean, like you couldn't tell which side the plate was shot on. You know what I mean? If you looked at it real carefully, you might be able to figure it out. But just taking a quick look at it, you couldn't tell which way the bullets went through. It was amazing. Listen, I was shooting my AR-15 one time up in this sand pit, and there was a bunch of junk stuff up there. And an AR-15 is the most anemic, you know, the 223 cartridge is about the most anemic cartridge I have ever seen. There was a radio, a 1950, no, it wasn't a 50s because it was solid state. It was probably an early 60s radio from a car sitting up there. And it was just the radio pulled out of the dashboard, and it didn't have tubes in it, so it was probably an early 60s radio. And it had the plastic, you know, with the 560 through 1600 on the front, you know, it had like a plastic, and you turn the knob and the thing would go back and forth. So I put it on a stump, and I backed off maybe 30 feet, and I shot it with my AR-15 right through the plastic, and that bullet did not go through that radio, and it was just sheet metal. It hit it, sparks flew out of it, smoke came out of it, but the bullet actually did not go through that sheet metal radio.
I want you to think about this. Take your whatever gun you have and set up a Utica Club beer can, okay, and shoot it with that. And you couldn't get through that without deforming the back of that 10 with a you know. So if you were to match that 4.4 whatever it was to that diamond plate versus any other bullet to any other piece of metal or tin, you couldn't duplicate that. You couldn't push it through and just knock out a slug. It's not going to happen. I would say it's physically impossible. I don't think, and I'm sure that Bob has seen the aftermath of one of those tank rounds going through other metal or whatever, and I would say that there's no way in hell that there's just a plug taken out of it. It's got to be, it would have to be deformed in the backside, because you just can't. That's why they can't take a machine that's built for it and do plugs. You know, you can't do it. You can't punch them out. You got to have something behind it to support it.
.444 Marlin. Totally different thing. 44 mag, and it's a shorter bullet. 444 Marlin is about the size of my 450 Marlin, except it's a little bit smaller diameter. No bottleneck. It's a straight case, and they're pretty. That's a pretty powerful rifle. That's got 3,000 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. It's the one right below the rifle I have. And by the way, Randy, I was at the gun store yesterday, and the guy had an absolutely mint Marlin micro groove 30-30 there for I think he was asking $450 for it.
30-30.
Yeah, 30-30. If it was a 35, I would have bought it, but it was a 30-30.
Yeah, I love my 35. I got Megan's coming home, and her boyfriend is She's dragging him home, and he's a shooter. He goes out on gun ranges and stuff like that. So if he's around enough and it doesn't rain, I might take him out in the field.
I'm surprised the cops haven't showed up yet.
We're here?
Yeah.
Why would they?
Because you're around houses.
No, we go out in the... I mean, no. Everybody here shoots. You always hear shooting going on.
Oh, okay. Hey, yeah, I heard the guy. By the way, I heard the governor down there in New York's running for president.
Is he? Did he say that?
That's what I heard today. There's 24 of them now running for president. Those idiots. And the crazy. Listen. I was thinking about this today because my mind always thinks. And there's actually something very good happening in the Democratic Party, but you'll never figure out what I'm thinking of.
It's not de Blasio.
De Blasio? Who's he?
Mayor of New York City.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I said governor, but I meant mayor. Yeah, it was the mayor in New York City. Anyway, there's something very good happening in the Democratic Party, at least good from my perspective. And I'll just tell you what it is. Biden is way out in front of everybody. Now, that's a really good thing. Can you figure out why? Can you figure out what my thinking is on that?
Because he'll be harder for the Trumpster.
No, that's nothing to do with it.
I don't follow.
He's less left than the rest of the crazies.
Exactly. He's not a commie, and even the old dumb, stupid Democratic Party won't even go for Bernie Sanders and those people. So that's a good thing.
And also, if you think about the comparison, that means there's a lot more of those that are closer to the right than way to the left, and those are people that, if things keep going well, will continue to come over to the right side.
Right. I can't see. I mean, granted, stranger things have happened, like when Hillary got her ass handed to her by Trump, but I cannot see any way in hell that Biden could beat Trump. If Biden beats Trump in a fair election, I mean, we might as well we all better sell our stuff as fast as we can, and we'll all buy an island down in the South Pacific.
Yeah, we'll go to Saba.
We can't sell our guns, though. Can we bring our guns to Saba?
Yeah, of course. We're bringing all our guns. What's the name of that island? Right, it's the first island after the international date line. Toga, something like Toga, Targa, or something where there's a king there.
Tonga.
Tonga, that's it. Tonga. That's where I want to move. Let's take over Tonga.
So you're gonna walk around with a bone through your nose?
Whoever that is, I can't hear you.
Must be, I don't know what's going on, but we have an awful lot of people coming in lately. Different people that, are trying to get in here, which is good. To just hopefully they can get a bit more, signal going. Oh, those guys.
Hey, another question I have for you, Bob, is what kind of recoil system is on that gun in the Abrams? Because I watched them shooting it on TV yesterday, and the gun goes backwards. What is that, some kind of hydraulic system?
Yeah, it's hydro-mechanical. So it's called a concentric hydrospring, so there's a big spring around the gun, the mount sits in there. Hydraulic that forces oil through an orifice, so that's what breaks it. So it's a hydraulic brake, and then it has a mechanical spring to do counter recoil and push it back in the battery. And the nominal recoil distance is, 12 to 13 inches.
Boy, that's not much for 8 million foot-pounds.
Oh no, and it's fast. It's bang, and it's right back in the battery. So yeah, you got to keep the recoil down because
that the longer recoil stroke you have, then it sweeps out more volume as you elevate and depress the gun under various conditions. So you have a large, more turret volume that you have to armor, and your weight goes up incredibly. So putting a big gun like that on a light vehicle, like a 20-ton vehicle, you'd have to increase and there's a couple of designs for that. You increase the recoil stroke to about 20 to 25 inches, and that keeps the trunnion forces down. So anyway, but for the Abrams, it's about 12 inches, you figure, is the recoil stroke.
I noticed the tank doesn't move much at all.
No, it doesn't. It's not an unpleasant experience to shoot that one. It's a pretty heavy tank.
How loud is that when you're inside the tank?
Not too loud, because you got a CVC helmet on and earplugs with that as well. So that gives you about 25 dB of attenuation right there. And when you're even with the hatches open, it's not so bad. Now, what'll be louder is if you're like on a firing line at a stationary range and you're in the commander's hatch and the tank beside you fires, then that's loud. But right behind it is not. What you hear inside is just kind of a dull thud. The cartridge case hit the floor, the clanking. That's about what you hear.
Does the cartridge case automatically eject?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Wow, that's pretty neat. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when the gun goes back into battery, the breech goes down, kicks the cartridge case out, so you get an open breech, and the loader can just put the next round right in.
What do they do with the expended cartridge cases?
They stay on the floor until you toss them out one of the hatches.
Oh, okay. Can you get those?
Yeah, I got one. I'll bring it and show you what it looks like.
Okay.
I gotta bring a note. I gotta bring a dummy 120 round. I gotta bring a cartridge case. So I gotta add to my raised to-do list here.
I'm sure if you could make a rifle with one of those, Randy would shoot it.
Yeah, I think Randy would shoot almost anything.
You ever see that thing online where the Arab guys are shooting that 700 Nitro Express?
At a range, and it dislocates the kid's shoulder, and he goes back and breaks the glass on the door.
Yeah, I think the gun came right past his shoulder and went backwards and hit the door. Yeah, that's the one. That's a 700 Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, that made the rounds. That was. We even used that while we were explaining why there's a limit to how light cannons. A, they kick too hard, and B, they get too hot. And then we use that to show what happens when a gun kicks too much.
I'm pretty sure that gun has about 12,000 foot-pounds. I'm pretty sure that's up around either 10 or 12,000 foot-pounds. That's amazing that a person would even be dumb enough to try to shoot it. But Randy would shoot it.
So what's that, the 600 T-Rex?
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Was that 600 T-Rex? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I'm not. The noise is taking you out. I heard you say that's what it's called, but that's it. Are you hearing him, Randy?
Oh yeah, I hear him great. T-Rex. It's the T-Rex. Yes.
Yeah, 700 Nitro Tyrannosaurus. That's what that's called. That's a hell of a gun. So Randy, would you shoot that?
So my signal's going up over the Berkshires, and not enough of it is refracting. I'm not getting enough knife edge refraction down into Ray. That's why you hear me so well, and Ray doesn't.
Oh, I thought it was because I had a good radio.
Oh, you have a good antenna and a good radio with very good receive sensitivity.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, Ray, I would shoot it. I absolutely would shoot that gun.
Hey, I'll be right back. I got to step out for a second.
Well, I'll tell you what, I wouldn't shoot it. I don't want to shoot mine. I would shoot the gun I have if you gave me some Attaboy and I wear my big heavy B3 bomber jacket. Yeah, I would shoot it then.
I would shoot that. Your gun. I mean, I don't think that's going to be a whole lot worse shooting than because it's going to be heavier. I think it's going to be. I don't think it'd be. I really think that the single shot shotgun, lightweight with a real honking, one of these honking slugs in it, probably kick just as much, if not more.
I don't think so, because that gun's light. That gun only weighs about 6.5 pounds, I think. I think it's about 6.5 pounds, and it's got 3,700 foot-pounds. The hottest shotgun shell I've ever seen was a 3-inch Magnum slug, 1,900 feet per second, and it's about 2,700 foot-pounds.
Yeah, but you shoot that out of a single shotgun that probably weighs maybe 3 or 4 pounds. I don't know what I could weigh it. There's no pad, no suppression whatsoever. That'll give you a pretty good bump.
Yeah, I fired one of those guns once, a single shot 12 gauge, 2 3/4, not a 3-inch, and boy, I'll tell you, that does give you a real sharp crack.
Yep, and I've shot boxes of shells through the thing. My son shot it. Now my son's my son, right? He's macho Cody, and he shot it like, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times in a row, and then he pulls it up, he puts it down. He pulls it up, he puts it down. He pulls it up. He looks at me, he goes, I don't want to shoot this gun anymore. So he stopped. I mean, I've been black and blue around my shoulder and my neck, from shooting that gun so much. It does put a hurting on you.
Well, you got to be careful, because when you get older, you can break stuff. I mean, when you're young, you can take that abuse like that. But like say, I'm going to be 70. You got to be careful when you start doing stupid things.
Yeah, I guess you're probably right. When I get old, I'll let you know, if you were.
Okay.
Storms are rolling in. They're saying that we might get some storms.
Well, I disconnect my radio every night now.
Oh, I do too. I yank the coax and I hit the switch on the back of the radio, and I shut the power strip off too. So it's but I keep the radio hooked up to the amplifier and the tuner, but I pull the line out of the tuner.
Yeah, that's what. If I know there's going to be a lightning storm, that's what I disconnect the twin lead, but I also pull the line, the coax out of the tuner, because the twin lead comes close to the back of the tuner. So if it got a real nasty hit and it was still hooked to the radio would still get fried. But if it's not, then the coax is laying on the floor 3 feet away, and it's going to arc to the chassis of the tuner, because the tuner is grounded.
Well, that's it. Okay, I misspoke. I unhooked the coax that comes from the amp to the tuner. I unhooked that coax. I keep the antenna hooked up to the tuner, and I keep the tuner with the big ground system that I have for the tuner. So the coax is from the tuner. The tuner, if the antenna got hit, it would melt the tuner, and the tuner hopefully would take most of the abuse and send everything to the big ground system out there, and then I just have to hook up a different tuner.
Yeah, I think it'd be better off just disconnecting the line. I ground the 2 lines together, because there's a lot of potential. I mean, if the lightning bolt hits on one end, and the 2 lines are ground together, that's going to give you a lot more places for the energy to go to ground.
Well, I'm hoping the explosion stays in the box. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, lightning's tricky. I mean, you could get a direct hit by lightning and it doesn't damage anything, and then you could get it the same direct hit and the house burns down.
Yeah, and the one thing I do, I think probably the most important and certainly the smartest thing that I do, I make sure my insurance policy is paid every whenever it's due.
Yeah, definitely.
I just picked up my phone here, and I got a text message from Mike, and he sent me the pictures of his work, of the lighting that he did on those trees. Oh my God, he did a lot of work.
Yeah, well, I guess that college seems to have plenty of cash.
Maybe it's all that bribe money.
That's right, from Lori Laughlin. Lori Laughlin's 500 grand. Hey, by the way, one of you guys look up Felicity. Somebody told me she got jail time. I saw it on Fox News. They said I didn't think she was going to be sentenced yet, but the way they talked today, she actually got jail time.
She might have pleaded it out.
She did. She when they offered the deal, she took it right away. So, but they didn't think she was going to get jail time. Now I heard somebody say she is. So look it up. See if they did it yet.
What is her name?
Felicity. I don't know her last name. Just put actress Felicity. Don't ask me how to spell it. I can't even spell my own name.
Huffman.
What is it?
Felicity Huffman.
Okay, did she get sentenced today?
She pled. I don't know if she got sentenced yet.
Right, but I could have sworn on Fox News today they said that she did get sentenced to jail time.
It says prosecutors recommend 4 months.
Oh, what is it, 4 months?
Yeah, they recommend it. She didn't get sentenced, I don't think, yet.
Oh, okay. The other one's looking at probably 4 to 6 years.
Yeah, I'm looking at. You sent me a video at nighttime of the looking down through the trees. Wow, pretty cool. That's gonna get a lot of people's attention. This job. I mean, it looks like he did like a quarter mile of trees or a half mile of trees, for crying out loud.
Didn't he say he was doing like 76 trees or something?
Yeah, and they're big trees too.
You know, that job can't be cheap.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was cheap, but I don't think. I mean, it had to cost him some money too to get the help and get all the lights. I mean, God, I hope he figured enough money for the lights.
Hey, Ray.
We'll see when he buys his new Kenwood. Yeah, go ahead.
She will be sentenced on September 13th.
Oh, wow, that's a long time off. The other one there, oh man, what a screw. Jesus Christ, she's going to get so screwed. They got to be worth, 20, 30, $40 million. And, I hear the husband and wife are getting divorced. The wife, of course, this is from the tabloids, but the wife said the kids are spoiled, no good brats, and that's the reason for what happened. And I don't know if that's true or that's the tabloid speaking, but she's supposedly having a nervous breakdown and all this kind of stuff, which she probably is. Because when you go from that kind of a life and then all your money's gone and everybody's going to sue you to death and you're going to jail for 5 or 6 years, that can't be very pleasant.
They can't handle that kind of diversity, those people. They're very soft.
No, but you know what? I would have loved to talk to her. I would, I watch all those girls. I don't watch her much. I've only seen her in maybe one movie or something, but the other girls, you almost like you know them, She should have had a talk with me. I know what happened to her. Her scumbag lawyers know she's got $40 million, and they want the $40 million. So we can beat this. We can beat this. Don't worry about a thing. We can beat this. And, they sold her a bill of goods, and she went for it. Now she's going to get screwed.
Hey, I'm out of here. We'll catch you guys later. So 7-3 from WG2E.
Why are you going so early?
Oh, I'm going to go upstairs. I got a couple things to do.
Okay. Well, you have fun, and I will see you later. 7-3, N1DBL.
Good night,
7-3, all. WG2E.
So, one thing, Carl, you there?
I am.
So we got a guy at work. He works for me. He's a good guy. He's a mechanic. Very nice young man. He's a little nuts, but he's a nice guy. And he's been having problems with his health. And there's been some bleeding. It's, the back door stuff. I don't want to get into it all, but he was really afraid that he was going to have surgery and all these things. So he went to the doctor yesterday. And I went down first thing this morning. I went down, I took him into his office. I said, hey, how's it going? What happened yesterday? Everything okay? He goes, yeah. He goes, you know what? He says, I hate when you're right. I said, when I'm right? He goes, yeah. He goes, the doctor told me I got to stop eating any sugar. Don't take sugar, and don't eat wheat. Whatever you do, modern wheat is poison, and stay off of modern wheat.
Oh, so I can't go up and eat wheat now?
Listen, you can do whatever you want to do. I'm not saying that you should or you shouldn't. All I'm saying is I eat as little of the modern wheat as possible, and I feel way better. And this guy was sick, and it's like he's being poisoned, and his doctor told him, don't eat any wheat because it's killing you from the inside out.
Right. Well, I told you that story the other day. I know it's a gross story to have to tell over the air, but it bears telling because it's the same thing that happened to me.
Yeah, it is very similar. He had a very similar situation, and that, so whatever it's worth, it's not just hearsay. It's not just a fad. It's the truth.
All right, catch you later. Hey, we'll have some wheat for breakfast on Sunday.
WG2E. See, Carl, I'm just finishing my bowl of cream of wheat.
The cream, yeah, but cream of wheat may not be wheat. I mean, you can still eat oats. Oats don't have gluten in them, but unfortunately, they're probably still poison.
That's what it's like you can't eat it.
You tell I've been trying to tell some people that are worth telling about what I've went through and everything, and about the things that I mentioned to you guys the other night, and nobody believes it. They just don't believe it. They just simply cannot believe that it's that simple to just give up wheat and things are going to be a lot better for you.
So, Ray, you can only bring the mules so far, and then you can just, go out at their funerals or watch them when they have their gastrointestinal bypasses and all these other problems, and just say, hey, I don't have the problem, but you can listen to me.
Well, I don't eat any wheat now at all. Nothing. I'm eating zero wheat. Zero. I'm just very, 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 very careful about anything. I don't even pick up. I have wheat crackers that I bought. They're the Nature's Promise. They're what do you call it? Organic. But I don't even eat those anymore. They're in my refrigerator. I'm going to throw them out to the birds maybe tomorrow. Anything to do with wheat, I've given up completely. You know what I make every day? I told you guys about this. You may not remember. I make a flaxseed wrap every day. This morning I had a nice ham, egg, and cheese sandwich with a nice flaxseed wrap.
Do you eat oats, Ray?
No, I used to eat oats. I got tons of oats in there, but no, I don't eat them anymore because although they don't have gluten in them, they probably are been sprayed by Roundup.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I remember you talking about your flaxseed wrap. That sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I got it down to a science. It's not bad. I mean, it's probably not as great as a nice piece of some kind of real good bread, but it just takes 3 heaping tablespoons of flaxseed, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of water in the egg, and you beat that up. 1/4 tablespoon of onion powder, 1/4 tablespoon of what's the red stuff? having a mental block. It's red spice, but like powdered red, and then 1 tablespoon of coconut seed oil, and you just throw that all into a mixing bowl, and you mix it up real good. And you lay it. I use the lid of a glass dish that's probably 8 by 8 or 9 by 9. I pour it into that, and I smooth it all out. You gotta lube the bottom of it with the coconut oil. You put some coconut oil in there and you wipe it all around, and you just pour that mix in. Well, it's nice and soft. Don't let it rise. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a quarter teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder goes in there, and you mix it all up, and you throw it right in fast, and it's real liquid, and you just spread it out and throw it in the microwave oven for 3 minutes. And what I try to do is, if I do have enough time, I pull it out of the microwave, and I throw it in the toaster, and I toast it a little bit, and then cut it in half, and there's your sandwich. And that, you can't get healthier than that, because flaxseed is really, really good for you. N1 DVL.
All right, I started right, Matt. Give me the ingredients and the amounts real quick again.
Okay, here we go. You're ready to copy. Hello. Okay, I use 3 heaping tablespoons of flaxseed, ground. Of course, it's ground flaxseed. And I use the stuff that's organic. You can get it, it's red, something reds, it's flaxseed. Then you use 1 egg. I don't eat egg yolks at all. I never eat yolks at all, because that's why I think I have a stent. So what I do is I take 2 egg whites, or you use 1 egg, one or the other. And you put that in a bowl. You put 1 tablespoon of water in with that, and you mix it up. Then back to the bowl. You got the 3 tablespoons of flaxseed. You go 1/4 tablespoon of onion powder, 1/4 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 full tablespoon of coconut oil, which has to be melted. You've got to melt that in the microwave. And paprika, that's it, 1/4 tablespoon of paprika. And you mix that all together, and you put it onto a greased sheet with coconut oil, and you just throw it in the microwave. Obviously, it's got to be glass. They tell you to cook it in the microwave. You cook it in the microwave for like 3 minutes, and then sometimes I pull that out if I have time, and I throw that whole. It peels right out of there with like perfect, and you just throw it in the toaster, and you can toast it.
Okay, these all quarters and everything. They're all 1/4 tablespoons, not teaspoons.
No, teaspoons. Everything that's a quarter is a 1/4 teaspoon. 1/4 teaspoon. The only things that are tablespoons are the 3 tablespoons of flaxseed and the tablespoon of coconut oil and the tablespoon of water.
Okay, got it.
And it's not bad. And believe me, it's not bad. I mean, it's better. You can make it makes a very nice sandwich. So you can make if you're looking to make a sandwich, there it is. And of course that gets rid of the wheat.
Yeah, that's my downfall because I really like sandwiches.
Well, don't forget, Sunday I'm going over to that place that sells the old style wheat, and you can get it. The flour. You can get the flour right at a local store, right where you are, Tootie, and just get a bread baker and bake your own bread. Slice it up, make delicious sandwiches out of it.
Yeah,
I used to have a bread machine years ago, and it crapped out on me, and I just never replaced it. And I used to enjoy doing that. I used, little did I know, I used the, mass-produced factory flour.
Well, yeah, but now you can get the other stuff very simply, and I've got a bread machine here that actually it was my mom's, and she doesn't use it any longer because she makes her own bread and she puts it in these things in the oven. So she said, if you want to take this thing, just take it. And this thing it mixes it up and you put it in the thing and it bakes it all at the same machine.
Yeah, and where's the store that you get the flour?
I'd have to look it up. Farmer. Boy. Let me think for a second. I'll come up with it in my head. It's Farmer Grown. What? Okay, Farmer Ground Flour. That's the place out there where we're going to go to get the stuff. And he also has distribution stores on there. And I can guarantee you, very close to your home is one of the stores. It's in many, many, many stores.
What's it called? Is that what it's called? Farmer Ground Flour?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that won't screw you up as bad as, the other crap. But let me know if you decide to make bread on that. Do a test. Eat a bread sandwich in the morning, eat a bread sandwich at noon, and eat one at night, and see if it screws you up again.
Well, why would I eat so many sandwiches?
Well, eat a lot of the bread, because if the flour is good it's good and it doesn't screw you up like the bad stuff, then you're not going to get any of the bad effects. But if it's still, in other words, there are people that are allergic. That young girl, that 12-year-old girl, was allergic to gluten, and she can't eat gluten. She ends up doubled over in pain, crying on her bed. Now, the real test would be a girl like her. Give her some of the old-fashioned flour and see if it does the same thing.
Let's see, Honest Weight Food Co-op and Whole Foods in Albany. Honest Weight Food Co-op in Albany.
Yeah, I know. I just found the page. I know those places. My daughter goes to both of them, so, nice. I know where they are, and it's a 9-iron shot for me.
So what's close to you, Ray? Massachusetts, Berkshire Co-op Market, Guido's Fresh Marketplace, Great Barrington. There's Northampton. Oh, River Valley Market in Northampton, Ray.
Yeah, but there's a Whole Foods here, Better Whole Foods. Do they sell it?
No, they do not.
Oh, okay. Well, you guys test it for me. I'm not even going to go back to flour. I'm not convinced yet. You guys test it for me and let me know. And I'd be a good test too, because if I eat it and my heart doesn't start skipping beats like crazy, then it's okay.
Well, it comes in 2-pound, bags. You can get it in 2-pounders. So you should just go pick one up at Northampton, pick it up, make up some a dough, and put it in a little bread pan, make yourself a sandwich out of it.
Well, what's the place in Northampton?
Let me see if I can find it again. River Valley Market, Northampton.
Closer to you, Ray?
No.
Great Barrington.
Well,
No,
wait, you're going to
Northampton's
breakfast
the
in
closest.
Pittsfield. You can go there Sunday and just go over to this place and pick it up.
Yeah, Guido's Fresh Marketplace in Pittsfield, maybe close to the diner.
Randy, what's the address of River Valley Market?
I don't know. I'd have to look that up. River Valley Market, Northampton. Let me look.
Tasty treat, can't feed.
Oh my God, you're getting later and later every night.
Ray, you're right in the noise level.
Well, I don't know. I'm hearing you okay. Hello. I'm running. Hey, I can go up a little bit more power. Hang on. Hello. Okay, that's 1,500 watts.
So they're calling it River Valley Co-op, River Valley Market, Northampton. Let's see here. So, yeah, it's 330 North King Street, Northampton.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah, Randy.
Guido's Fresh Marketplace is 12 minutes from Misty Moonlight Diner.
There you go.
Hey, I talked to Lisa today. She hung up on me because I won't loan her money to fix her car.
You selfish prick.
Oh, you should have heard her. Randy, you know what? You know how sometimes I second-guess myself and I say, it's got to be me? Every single girl that I run into down here can't be bad. They can't all be bad. It's got to be me. I wish I could have recorded what she said today. She went through our whole relationship for 12 years and everything she's ever done for me, and I won't loan her the money to fix her car. I'm a no good, you know what, and she hung up on me. But she also told me she's gonna. What do you do when you make it so that you delete the person so they can't call you anymore? What's that called?
Blocking. She's blocking you.
Yeah, she's blocking me because I won't loan her money to get her car fixed.
Yeah, I know. She went off on me one day about you. I mean, just going off about the lamp and her mom and how she went and did all these running around for you and stuff. And I said to her, look at Lisa, I can't, I don't know what to say. You guys should sit down and talk this out. I know Fred. I said I know Ray, really cherishes his friendship with you, and I'd hate to see you guys, end it like this. So I really think that you should just go over and sit down and talk with him, and then just get it hashed out. And then it was another 22 minutes of reading her text message full of vulgarity and nastiness.
Yeah, you know what's wrong with her? I can tell you what's wrong with her. Don't forget, she lost her job. I woke her up today at 12 o'clock. She's still sleeping. Now, just tell me, what do you think's wrong with her?
Yeah, you know what's wrong with her. She's got no money to fix her car, but she can find drug money.
You got it. She just slipped right back into that evil thing she was. And now she's just mad at the whole world because she just can't get enough drugs.
I just found a reason to buy red LEDs.
Of course, I keep on telling you, they look beautiful in your 7851.
No, inside the 3500Z tube. Sitting here, the tube is sitting here, and I've got a package of LEDs sitting right next to it. And I'm looking at the LEDs, I'm looking at the tube, and all of a sudden it just dawned on me, wait a minute. This is exactly what I need to light up the tube.
Yeah, well, anyway. You do realize that Lisa's borrowed money from me probably 10 times since I've known her. You know how much of that I got back?
Right. It's never a loan. It's a gift. I know the type, and I've been there and done that many times. I know.
Right. Okay. Well, just as long as you know. So, like I said, I'm back to believing that as hard as it is to believe, it's not me. They're just all nuts.
So I guess I'm going to pull the plug. I've got a big day tomorrow. I've got to be at work early. So I'm going to jump on out of here and bid you all 73. Have a good evening. KB2ZVP.
Good night, Randy. Y'all rest easy now. 73.
You want to pull out two here, Ray? I got my recipe. Flaxseed wraps. I'm going to give them a shot here.
Yeah, like I said, I like it. I mean, it's it's a little different, but it's acceptable, and you got to remember this: that not only are you getting away from the wheat, but the flaxseed is really, really good. It has a lot of omega-3s in it. So, according to my mother's brain doctor, there, what's the right terminology for them? What's the brain doctor called?
Psychiatrist?
No. You know, the technical term for the guy who gives you drugs for your brain.
I don't know.
Neurologist?
Yes, that's it, neurologist. According to my mother's neurologist, I asked him one time, I said, is there anything you can take for your brain? And he goes, yes, there is. But he said, it's not ginkgo biloba or whatever. He says, not the stuff you see on TV. He said, the best thing you can do is take a heaping tablespoon of flaxseed every single day in the morning. He said, that's the best thing you can do for your brain. And I said, well, how come it's not written up or anything? He said, because you can't make any money on it. You can buy a whole box of it for $2.50. Nobody can make any money. They don't want you to know about it. You know, I believe it works. So it's good, real good stuff to eat.
Yeah, and flax oil is supposed to be real good. It's one of the things they recommend for raising. Have the good cholesterol to flax oil will raise that up.
Well, like I said, I usually am eating 3 tablespoons of flaxseed now every day or every other day, so that's probably pretty good for you. But I can tell you one thing, getting rid of that wheat. All of a sudden I went on that wheat crazy thing with the 3 pancakes every morning and the cornbread, and holy crap, after a week I thought I was going to die. I really honestly thought I was dying. So with the heart problems and everything, oh my God, it was just, you don't have to convince me. Let's put it this way, I'm smart enough to realize you don't have to convince me more than the first time. That stuff is poison. Now, why it's poison, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I suspect it's because of the genetic modifications. But yeah, whatever. Just you can't eat wheat anymore. It's crazy to eat wheat, especially if you're older. If you're young, you can probably get away with it. Anyway, 730, I'm going to bed. Good night, Tom. You came in too late. N1BBO.
Yeah, right. And I'm heading out. KT2. Hey, Randy.
Good night, Ray. 73's. Talk to you tomorrow night, maybe, if this noise settles down.
Okay, I'm down to 100, so you probably can't hear me. N1BBO. Hey, Tom? Tom, can you hear me? Hello, KT3, KXB. Are you still there?